mynews.studio.
A city that was once battling heavy smog is now leading Latin America's clean air efforts. The question is, can Bogotá's approach serve as a model for other cities?
It's November 16th, 2025. The Earthshot Prize just announced its winners, with a focus on cities, forests, and oceans. Bogotá, Brazil, and the High Seas Treaty are all in the spotlight. Where should we start?
Let's begin with Bogotá. Since 2018, the city has reduced air pollution by 24%. But that's more than just a statistic. It means fewer hospital visits and a better day-to-day life for people living there. The main reasons for this progress? They built the largest cycle network in Latin America, introduced a large fleet of electric buses, and added new cable car lines. Why did this mix work so well?
Was it mainly about the new infrastructure, or was there another factor? Plenty of cities add bike lanes and buses, but they don't always see results like Bogotá.
Good point. Infrastructure was essential, but the real shift came from integration. They didn't just build bike lanes, they connected them to bus routes, ensured stations were accessible, and prioritized low-income neighborhoods. Community involvement was also big. Public health campaigns, planning that included residents. Do you think other cities could adopt a similar approach?
Maybe, but political commitment seems key here. Bogotá's leaders invested heavily and stayed with the plan over several years. To repeat that elsewhere would mean adapting to local needs and securing funding that lasts beyond one mayor's term. Isn't there a risk some cities might just pick the easy fixes?
Absolutely. There's a tendency to focus on the visible actions, like buying electric buses, but skip over things like equity or integrating health. The main takeaway from Bogotá is that lasting change comes from combining technology, policy, and public input. That's how they built support and kept progress moving.
Let's talk about Brazil. The Regreen project is ambitious, using AI, drones, and satellites to restore parts of the Amazon and Atlantic forests. They're aiming to capture 15 million tons of CO2 each year by 2032. How is this actually being done?
They use AI and satellite data to identify the best spots for restoration, places where biodiversity can recover and carbon capture is highest. Drones are used to plant seeds and monitor how the areas grow. But the core of the project is local communities. They handle planting, maintenance, and tracking, and in return, they get jobs and training. So it's a partnership between technology and people.
So it's not just about technology or tree planting. It's about scaling up with better data, but also making sure local people benefit and stay involved. Are there any obstacles with this model?
Definitely. Scaling up is costly. Engaging communities takes time. Plus, there are challenges around climate, land rights, and politics. But the mix of technology and local stewardship helps make the results more durable. How do you see this influencing similar efforts in other regions?
To me, it suggests you don't have to choose between high-tech and local involvement. Even in places with fewer resources, combining both approaches can increase impact. But these projects also rely on outside support, funding, know-how, and links to global markets, which leads us to the High Seas Treaty.
Yes, the High Seas Treaty is a milestone. It covers almost half of Earth's surface. For the first time, there's a legal framework to protect international waters. But the real challenge is putting it into practice.
How do you actually enforce these rules in the open ocean? There's the problem of monitoring, funding, and getting countries to work together, especially when economic interests and conservation goals don't always align.
It's a major test for international cooperation. Success will depend on transparent management involving civil society and ongoing political support. If not, the treaty risks being just another agreement on paper.
So, to wrap up, Bogotá offers a model for cleaner urban air. Brazil's Green project blends technology and local work to restore forests. And now there's a new treaty for ocean protection. But the common thread is collaboration between technology and people, local and global, policy and community.
And it's not only about celebrating winners. The Earthshot Prize acts as a guide, showing practical strategies that can be adapted and scaled around the world. But are governments and organizations ready to take on that challenge?
Their role is critical. By providing funding, aligning standards, and sharing expertise, they can help turn local successes into global progress. The key issue now: is there enough urgency to meet the climate challenge?
That's our story this week. Tested solutions, global consequences, and the need for swift action. Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.